Hey there, everyone. It's Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy, your host for another edition of the Night Sky this week. It's April 22nd, 2024. I hope you had a great weekend. It was nice and sunny here for part of the weekend. Did some sky watching. Love the moon. I don't know if you've checked out some of my posts I've been putting up about the moon. Just great. We did a live stream last week as well, showcasing some things. I hope you managed to check out some of those amazing sights on the surface of the moon. And I don't know if you did get a chance to see the Apennine Mountains. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And of course, I love to hear where you're watching from. Where are you joining this party today? I love to see all my stargazing friends, wherever you are. I want to know where you're watching from. And we are here on the cusp of another week in April. Still recovering from that amazing eclipse. Just a fantastic time with the solar eclipse on earlier this month. And it's just amazing that it's been a few weeks now already since that eclipse. Time goes by so fast, but it was just such a great opportunity. I'm just so thankful that I didn't go anywhere. I stayed where I wanted to be in my hometown and took that chance that the weather worked out, and it did. It went totally different from what the weather forecasts were. The historical forecasts just didn't pan out. I think that was really interesting, and I'd love to hear your stories too. Just put them in the comments. Did you get to see the solar eclipse? Did you have to travel to see it? How did it work out for you? I'd just love to see that in the comments. Hey, listen, if you like this kind of broadcast and you're interested in the night sky, I'd love for you to join the community. You can subscribe to my channel, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're watching. Please show your support by giving me a thumbs up, share, and of course, subscribe. All the good stuff there on social really means a lot because it allows me to bring these broadcasts into your home. And share my passion for astronomy and share all the goodness that the night sky has for all of us, because it's really easy to do. It doesn't take a lot to do astronomy and get into it. It's really just the entry level is just basically some clear skies and some patience and curiosity. That's all it takes. And I'm just humbled that I can maybe point out a few things for you in the sky. You don't have to be a rocket scientist or somebody like Neil deGrasse Tyson or anything to really love space and what the heavens above has for us. So why don't we dive in right away to see what the sky has, and we'll boot up the planetarium program. This is my favorite one from Sky Safari by Simulation Curriculum. And this is the sky setup basically for early evening, Monday, April 22nd. As we're broadcasting in a few hours, this is what it'll appear. Maybe where you are already in the world, it's a sunset or it's soon after in the evening, and you're wondering what's in the sky. Well, here you go, guys. This is the setup just after sunset. You can see Uranus and Jupiter are pinning down the western sky. This is a really interesting pair because they're such vastly different type of planets, right? Because one is what we call an ice giant, the other one is a gas giant, and one is much bigger than the other, Jupiter being the largest of all the planets in the solar system. And you can see in this kind of zoom in of how Jupiter and Uranus are together. And in fact, just barely visible in the single field of view if you have a telescope. You can see it kind of comes in like that. Uranus is a definitely greenish hued dot in binoculars, visible in binoculars, not with naked eye. Unless you're in like super crazy dark skies, you wouldn't see Uranus. So really, to have a hope to see it, it's actually an easy object with binoculars, and small telescopes will do great. You're looking for a green dot, and just is a fantastic opportunity to find Uranus thanks to Jupiter being beside it. Now, what I want you to take a look, of course, some of my favorite targets, Jupiter, because of its moons. It has a whole dozens and dozens of moons, but really the four largest, known as the Galilean moons, are the most easy targets to see. Even with a steadily held pair of binoculars, you can see these guys. They're just incredible. Just a big shout out here to folks joining in on the live stream. We've got Gina from Connecticut, Teresa from Chicago, Jim from sunny Ocala, Florida. Wonderful. Great. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Jim. And Rick, Neil killed Pluto. Yeah, no kidding. I know. But hey, that's another topic. We won't get into that now. But maybe it should have had a grandfather clause. I don't know. Well, maybe that's something else to talk about. Rick from Central Texas and Gunilla from Sweden. So nice of you to join on Facebook. Some of you guys are on YouTube as well. It's just great to see folks all over on social joining in. We got Kadia from California, Marlene from North Carolina. So nice. And James from North Carolina as well. So nice of you guys to join us. So here we are. We're talking about what we can see in the sky. This is, I think, an easy target, okay, for binoculars, definitely. And with the naked eye, without really thinking of Uranus, you'll see Jupiter, no problem. That is an easy target to see. So this is, again, after sunset. And what you'll notice is the winter constellations are starting to bow out. So for those of us, I'm being very northern hemisphere prejudiced here, saying that winter. But I know for those of you, my friends that are in the southern hemisphere, this is a summertime main staple of the skies, and I'm talking about places like Taurus the bull, and of course Orion, right? Orion, we can't forget Orion. Now, if I just make this a little bit later in the evening, let me see if I can do that. Put this over here, and let's see, an hour later, there you can see Orion is very close to the western horizon now. For those of us in the northern hemisphere, it's kind of bowing out, really checking out, and you'll get some views still, but not much. You have to go look for an area that has a clear view toward the western horizon to see Taurus and Orion. I can't believe it. We're already heading into a new season. We're in spring here now, obviously, or fall, depending on where you are, which hemisphere in the world. And we're changing, obviously, very evidently, the skies are turning to new sets of constellations that'll be visible more and more easily. Of course, Sirius is still there after sunset. Look for that in the southwest. It's the brightest star. You can't miss it. It's in the constellation Canis Major, the little faithful dog of Orion, still there. But I want you to turn towards the southeast tonight, okay? So Monday, April 22nd is when we're broadcasting. I want you to be able to look towards the west. Maybe right now, if you're looking towards, I should say, the east, southeast, you may see the moon. Maybe depending on where you are in the world. It's already evening. I see my friends from Portugal. Isabel is joining here as well. And Jojo from New Mexico, hi. And Crystal from Truro, Nova Scotia, fellow Canuck. Welcome. Love to have everyone from around the world here. So what are we looking at? Moon and Spica. Just an amazing combination just because it's so beautiful. It is, if I continue getting clear skies, and it's beautiful right now for me in Montreal, I'm going to be going out and try to take some photos. Highly recommend for you guys too. If you can, go outside, take some photos, take your phone and try to take photos. I will, and I will share that on my timeline. Do join me on my Facebook. I'll have it there on Twitter as well. But just a gorgeous pairing you don't want to miss. Spica is a star that's, get this, 250 light years away. So it takes 2.5 centuries for the light of Spica to reach us. And right next to it is the near full moon, right? So that's really interesting because the full moon will happen Tuesday. Tomorrow, the 23rd of April, will be officially the full moon. It will look almost full, not quite. If you look at it very carefully, the full moon will kind of you'll see that there's a little bit missing off to the edge of the limb of the moon. Isn't quite a perfect circle, making it like that. But it'll be next to Spica, and Spica is just a gorgeous, distinctly bluish white star, and it'll be parked next to the moon. Great combo. And just imagine that the moon is about 400,000 or 280,000 miles, right? 400,000 kilometers away on average. And it takes light, just over a second to travel from the moon, right? The reflected sunlight off the surface of the moon to reach your eye, just over a second. You're looking back in time when you're looking at the moon. And what blows my mind is that Spica, right next to it, a very, very bright object in itself, and Spica is a light that takes 250 light years away. I mean, that's going to blow your mind just thinking about that you're looking back so far in time. Two vastly different objects, huddled together in the sky. Again, this is April 22nd, Monday evening. This is where the moon and Spica are together. Also, before we leave Monday, April 22nd, I don't know if you knew, but did you know there was a meteor shower on? Yes, Sunday night, the 21st into the 22nd, tonight again, is the Lyrid meteor shower. It's a minor meteor shower, but every year it comes. It's like clockwork. It comes around. Lyrids, as the name suggests, it seems to be coming out from one part of the sky occupied by the constellation Lyra. So if I just do a little search here on my planetarium program, I'll be able to find the center of this, and there it is. So this is the constellation Lyra. It's marked, it's a small constellation, but it has a very bright star, and that bright star is, oh my goodness, I almost had that was too much here. Hold on. Let's just go back here to the east, and I'll be just ready. There we go. Let's do that again. Lyra, the Lyrids, bingo, and we'll center it. There we are. So if we just go back in time to something a little bit more reasonable, it climbs above around 9 o'clock in the evening. If you look towards the northeast, you'll see low in the horizon, and it depends on when you go out. If you go, this is now almost 10 o'clock. I have it here, as you can see. I'm going to just put it, let me just set this so that it's less confusing to 10. There, it's 10 p.m. And at 10 p.m. local time, this is approximately, depending on what latitude you are, I'm halfway between the North Pole and the equator, 45 degrees latitude. So this will be shifted either higher up in the sky or lower in the sky, depending if you're closer to the North Pole or closer to the equator. It shifts. But that's where the Lyrids, it's visible pretty much all around the world, and it favors the northern hemisphere because Lyra, the constellation where it originates, you can see here, it's the harp. It's an ancient Greek constellation, and it's marked by the brightest star, which is Vega, right here. Now, Vega is super bright. It's visible to the naked eye, and it's a great guidepost for knowing where the Lyrids are shooting out from. I mean, you can see in this animation, you see how those streaks of light are all kind of radiating out from one spot in the sky? That spot is occupied officially by the constellation Lyra, and hence the name of this meteor shower, the Lyrids. Now, don't expect a big light show. On average, it's around 20 shooting stars per hour from the Lyrids. However, because of the full moon, or near full moon Monday night, it's going to drown out a lot of the meteors. So I don't want to get your hopes up too much regarding this meteor shower. You may see fireballs. These are unusually bright meteors. They happen during meteor showers, just simply because there's so many of these meteors that are hitting the atmosphere, these little pellets that are left over from an ancient comet. And these little pellets, they burn up in the upper atmosphere. That's what these streaks of light are, right? These are little pebbles, most the size of a grain of sand, burning up in the upper atmosphere. And that's what causes these streaks. They burn up at extreme speeds, things like we're talking about 70 to 120,000 kilometers per hour. So that's why they just burn out so quickly. And it's literally just a fraction of a second that they last. But sometimes you do get larger stones, maybe golf ball, baseball, basketball size stones, or even larger. And they can cause what we call, fireballs. And these are unusually bright meteors that you can see in the sky. And they can happen during a shower. So highly recommend going outside, checking the sky. Don't expect too much, but you may see some fireballs. So if it's a comfortable time, it's not too cold, and it's a great time for you to sit outside, then it's something that you want to watch for. It's something great. Also joining us today is Roland from Syracuse, Indiana. We've got Josette from Denver, Colorado. Isabel from Portugal. Nice of you to join. Keep putting it in. I'd love to see where you guys are located around the world. Where are you watching this webcast from? It's just great to see everyone around the world, and shows how we share the same sky around the world. That's really neat. So here we are. This is the Lyrids, and this is tonight, April 22nd. It was Sunday night, and then again Monday night. Best time to see it, but because of the full moon, don't expect too much. Okay, just temper your expectation, but it's fun to see. And so that's for Monday. So tomorrow, if I flip this till by a day to Tuesday, the 23rd, look at where the moon is. You see the moon and Spica are together. Do you see that there? Okay, watch. We're going to flip it. And let me see if I can just get out of there like that. And look what happens. Did you see that? See how the moon, this is Monday where the moon is. By Tuesday, when the moon is officially full, it's going to be a little bit of a distance away, dropping down closer to the horizon below Spica at the same time each night. If you look out, this is again at 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock Tuesday, 10 o'clock Monday. See, Monday, Tuesday. And so the difference, obviously, beyond the separation of these two objects, the star and the moon will be at its full phase, and it's officially happening at 7:49 p.m. Eastern Time in North America. In Eastern Time, daylight time, at 7:49 is the official time for the full moon. But if you want to look at it tonight, it'll appear nearly full moon on Monday night, but officially by tomorrow night, Tuesday night, look for that beautiful full moon. And the full moon will be rising shortly after the sun sets. So while the sun is setting here, you can see in the west, and if you turn your back to the sun and you face the east, and you've got a clear view to the horizon, perhaps, maybe a lakeside or a rooftop or on a hilltop, you would see low to the horizon, you can actually watch the full moon rise. And you can see this is around 7 o'clock. An hour later, at around 8 o'clock, there comes the full moon. Now, it's just going to be rising overnight, just dominating the southeastern, eastern sky by 10 o'clock, by 11 o'clock. It's still climbing by midnight, and 1 o'clock in the morning, it's way in the south, right? And it'll be pairing up still with Spica. Those two objects are just traveling together. And by the way, folks, Spica, that's the lead star in the constellation Virgo the Maiden. It's a very typical springtime constellation in the northern hemisphere and visible in the southern hemisphere during the fall season. So just great. And then, of course, if you're willing to stay up late, climbing above the horizon just after midnight, you'll see an orange star below the moon, making a line, actually a perfect lineup with Spica, the moon. Draw a line right down to the horizon, that diagonal line. Just follow it down. If you wait after midnight, you'll see Antares. Antares is the lead star in the constellation, this ancient arachnoid, the Scorpion. And what's really neat is Antares is 550 light years away. Isn't that incredible? It takes over 5 centuries for the light to reach your eye when you're looking at that beautiful orange star in the sky. I'm telling you, you're traveling back in time every time you look up at the sky. We've got Faye from Jamaica joining. Hey, Faye, hope you're having a great day. And we've got Kier from the Upper Laurentians here in Quebec, a fellow Quebecer. Welcome. So happy you could join us. So hopefully we've got clear skies. And this is for Tuesday. You have this beautiful lineup waiting for you in our skies. It's just absolutely wonderful. Now, if we follow the moon, check this out. So this is Wednesday, right? This is by, I should say, let me fix this here. We'll do it for 11 p.m. like that. Okay, and we'll change it from Tuesday, the 23rd, when we have the full moon. And before I leave the full moon, right, 7:49 p.m. Eastern time is when we have that full moon. That is 23:49 Universal time, if you're interested in that. There's 4 hours difference between Eastern and Universal time. The name of the full moon in April, there's a lot of different names depending on what culture and where you're from. But for Europeans and North Americans, generally European cultures, the pink full moon is used a lot. Where does that come from? It's not the actual moon color. The moon will not be pink. It's because this is the time of the year in the Northern Hemisphere that flowers are starting to come up as the ground warms up from the long winter time. And we get a certain kind of flower that's pink called phlox. And that phlox flower's color is what is imparted onto as the name of the full moon for the moon that is in the month of April. So maybe you didn't know that, but that's where that name comes. It's the pink full moon, folks, coming on Tuesday, April 23rd. So if we move forward in time, look, this is by Wednesday night, the 24th. The moon is embedded in the constellation Libra. By Thursday night, it's still in Libra, but getting closer, as you can see, to our star that we talked about just before, Antares, right? So look how far away Spica and the moon is now by Friday night, the 26th of April, right? And then if we move forward an hour, there we go. That's let's just keep it at midnight. Or let's put it back at 11. You know what? I'm going to go past that. So this is Friday early morning, right? So it's after midnight, Friday early morning. You got to be a night owl or a night owl for this. But I want you to see what happens with the moon and Antares as we go forward. Look at that. Do you see that? The moon and Antares. The moon has now switched onto the other side of Antares, still in the constellation Scorpius, the zodiacal constellation. So this is early Saturday morning. And what's neat is, okay, so maybe you don't want to stay up late night to see this. Well, check this out. Maybe you're more of an early morning person. So we switch over. Let's go through the hours of Saturday morning. This is 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Go 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5. And look, so there's the dawn approaching. And do you see by 5? The pair is still visible in the skies, but now they've switched to the southwestern part of the sky. By 6 o'clock, you're still just visible. Dawn is really breaking through and brightening the skies, but you can see the moon and Antares. So this is early Saturday morning. So if you're an early bird, maybe you get up and do some jogging or you walk the dog. Maybe you're going to work on a Saturday morning. This is what you're going to see looking towards the southwest. That beautiful moon, the waning gibbous moon, because it's smaller and smaller portion of the disk of the moon is being illuminated as we go past full moon this week, right? And you see Antares right next to it. Just look for this pairing. Fantastic sight. Highly recommend it. And look what else is there in the skies. You've got Saturn, Mars, and Mercury, and even Venus just before sunrise. See, the sun is rising in the east. This is Saturday morning, but maybe a little bit an hour earlier at 5 in the morning, Saturn will be visible as a yellow dot low in the horizon in the east. So how about that, folks? Lots of really cool stuff all week long. Who do we have here online? We've got Suzanne from Matic, Ontario. Joe from Sydney, Australia. Welcome. Love to have folks from the Southern Hemisphere join us. All these things that we're talking about, visible for right across the world. So it doesn't matter, right? The orientation's going to be different. I'm showing you what I'm seeing here in middle North America, mid-latitude, but it really is something that is visible right across the world in just a different orientation. It's just fantastic that we can share this together, right? Just great stuff. So listen, folks, that is a whole bunch of stuff for this week. I'm going to post some sky charts regarding this so that we don't forget. what's happening when, because I know that's a busy week for sure. And if you like to explore astronomy some more, I always invite you to take a look, check out my book, Backyard Guide to the Night Sky by National Geographic. It's considered still a bestseller. It's a standard. If you go to Amazon, you can get it there at your leading bookstore, maybe in your neighborhood. I'm also selling signed, dedicated copies. I'm shipping internationally. I'm waiting for a new batch right now of books. I've sold out and I'm waiting for it. But you can put your order in, get your name on the list. You don't want to miss it. And I'll be dedicating and signing those copies. It's a great soft cover that could fit into your backpack or if you're traveling. And it's great not just for beginners, but for more advanced astronomers as well. And it's filled with all sky charts and ideas of how to star hop and learn about how to use your binoculars and telescopes as well. If you want something more meaningful, hey, check out Stargazer's Atlas. It's a huge coffee table book. It's not really meant to be outside, but it's got something that you can use as to plan your adventures of exploring the night sky. All 88 constellations visible right across the entire world are listed with I filled this with deep sky tours of hundreds upon hundreds of galaxies and star clusters and nebulae that you can explore with your binoculars and telescopes. Mythology galore, cultural references, all kinds of neat stuff. The entire connection of humanity to the night sky is in this book. Took us over a year to put together at National Geographic, and I'm really stoked to be part of that. I'm selling dedicated signed copies of this one too. Makes for some great, I don't know, I think maybe some cool gifts maybe you can consider for a birthday or for yourself. Hey guys, thanks for joining me again this week. I hope you enjoyed everything that we talked about. Lots of sky charts coming. Please show your support for my live stream. It means a lot to me if you give me a thumbs up, you share it, you subscribe to my channel, and allows me to bring these free into your home every week. I love seeing questions. Also, feel free to put them in to the chat. I'll be looking at that after the show. And until the next time I see you, please stay safe and healthy and make sure you have clear skies. Bye-bye.